Hey, this is the start to our series of a sweet new bow build. And today we are covering my favorite cable-driven drop-away rest. Let's check it out. 21-inch beard.
Yes!
There, yeah, oh, do it. Okay, so there's a couple reasons why I like the rest that I've got. First of all, hold on here. This is my current bow. This is a Dart Mavic 2, and I have got a new bow on the way. You'll love it. I've had that bow for a while, but the one thing that I have had longer than that bow is the rest that came with it. The rest that came with it is almost 10 years old. Actually, I think it's going on 11 years, so it is 10 years old. And it has performed flawlessly for me for those 10 years. And that rest is the QAD UltraRest HDX. Before I go too far into this, the link for this magical favorite drop away of mine, can you see my breath? If this QAD interests you, there is a affiliated link down below. So if you wanted to buy one off the internet and you wanted to support us, if you use the affiliate link, it gives us some money to do more of these videos, to do some product reviews, and hopefully bring you some sweet content. So here's the thing with the QAD dropaways. There's three different styles, three different models, I should say. The HDX is the top of the line. HDX is about $150 to $180 depending on where you buy it from. And that's not an outrageous price, especially for a USA made piece of equipment. And I've had it for 10 years and I wanted to get a new one, and I'm keeping that one on that bow. It's gonna be a backup bow, so I might as well get a new one to put on the new bow, right? I mean, it only makes sense. Let me go through what the differences are in the three different models and why I went with the HDX. All of the rests are full containment. That was a huge bonus for me, a full containment. And all three of them will not drop on a letdown. So you can set it into position, in the upright position, lock it there while you're hunting, let it set, and then when you draw it back, it's gonna come to a full 90 degrees. And then when you let it down slow, it's not gonna drop, it's still gonna stay fully contained. The only time that the rest will fall is when you either flick the paddle to rotate the forks up, or if you fire the bow. And that's really the only times you ever really need to do it, because either you're gonna be de-stringing an arrow or you're gonna be shooting at something. So there's a QAD Hunter, which is one I've had before. There's a QAD LD, and then there's this one that I've got right here, the QAD UltraRest HDX. So the Hunter is the lowest end model. It's the cheapest one of all of them, and people generally tend to think that since it says Hunter, that they want to use that drop-away one for all of their hunting setups. The fatal flaw for using that in their hunting setups is today's bows are extremely faster than what they used to be. And the Hunter model doesn't have a lockdown fork. So when you fire, sometimes that fork will slap back up and hit your arrow. And that's no bueno, because then your arrow's going all whoopity-woppity. They corrected this model with doing the LD version, lockdown version, and that's a great rest. You could be using that one. The reason why I'm using the UltraRest HDX is because it also has the lockdown forks, and then it has, vibration dampening. So that's like the creme de la creme of the dropaways out of the UltraRest series. Just because a drop-away rest is my go-to ticket doesn't mean it's everybody's. And honestly, if you're just a new beginner, my favorite recommendation for a new shooter, since these can take such fine tuning, but a new shooter, if I was gonna recommend anything to them, honestly, wouldn't even be a drop-away. And call me crazy, I don't care. You don't need the fanciest of things if you're just starting out. Let me show you something. Where is it? This is my old, actually I think it's probably my dad's. This is an old box of archery equipment. We got some old muzzies in there and some other, I don't know, things. This whisker biscuit is the very first thing I ever had on a bow. And it's this exact same one right here. If I was gonna recommend anything to a brand new hunter, honestly, I would recommend this whisker biscuit. I would recommend this whisker biscuit. But if I am talking to anybody else that's had a few years of hunting and want to take the next step in accuracy, long distance shooting, and just have confidence in something, I'm going to use, say, this QAD HDX, or at least the QAD lockdown. Again, The only difference between the lockdown, the LD, and the HDX is the HDX comes with some dampening, so vibration dampening. I would not recommend the Hunter version. I would not. I'm sorry, QAD. This is non-sponsored, so I'm just being honest. You will end up finding more problems with that Hunter drop away rest because of the no lockdown on the forks. It's going to end up at some point, whether you're shooting an older bow and you want to slap it onto a new one, you're going to have problems, or even sometimes have problems on an older bow that's fast enough. The biggest thing for me on any arrow rest is I want full containment when I'm hunting. Full containment hunting is a no-brainer because you can have that thing shaking around. You could take your bow, well, hold on, let me show you. You could be putting a stock, on a critter, crawling in the grass. You know your arrow's gonna stay somewhat in place. You could be shaking this thing all around just like this, and it still centers out once she settles. You can have it leaning up against a tree and you know it's not gonna slide off. It's just, I mean, it's a no-brainer. So yeah, to me right now, currently, this is my favorite drop away rest. It just is. It's what I've used for 10 years. I have no complaints. And if I'm gonna recommend anything to a new bow hunter, I'm gonna tell them to just shoot a whisker biscuit. I mean, unless I wanna get a drop away, that's fine. But a whisker biscuit, I think, is like 40 bucks for the whole bracketing system. We're gonna install this at a later point because I don't have the new bow yet. So we're gonna slap that on in one video, and then we got some other products to go through very quickly along with the bow build. We've got a bunch of stuff from Redline. They sent us this stuff to review, to check out, so we're gonna give you the full run through on some of the Redline equipment that's come out. We'll be reviewing their stabilizers and their back bar and their quiver and one of their sights. So if any of that interests you, or if you'd like to at least just see a nice brand new cool bow build, I would advise liking, subscribing, doing your thing. Hit like and subscribe. Just subscribe. You don't have to like it. You can thumbs down it. I don't care. There's always one person on these videos that's thumbs down it. I'm watching you. I'm watching you.